Yo, what is good in the hood, folks? Welcome to Gameplay, the eSports show that keeps you in the know of all things high school and university eSports in South Africa. Yeah, but yes, you know what it is. It's your boy Collins Manyame, aka Scorer in the eSports streets. And today, you know it is, we're covering yet again some more stuff in the space. And I would ask how your weekend was, but I remembered our annoying distant cousin Load Thunder Shedding is back. So I don't know about how those weekends were, but I hope it was good regardless. Anyways, today we cover results from ASL. We cover a recent orientation event that took place at one of the ASL schools. We have our session in the classroom once again, and finally ended off with my celebrity guest interview. So without any further ado, Bafet, Azish. So jumping right into things, let's catch up with the ASL space. Talking results overall at the moment this week, we saw Edgemead take first place with 291 points, the Anchor coming in second with 230 points. Not too far behind in third, we have Glenwood on 211 points, the Anchor making it a two-peat in the top five with their second team in fourth, sitting at 197, and Pinelands completing our top five with 188 points in total. Unfortunately, we didn't see all the other titles start because of, say it with me, load shedding. But nonetheless, still a good week of Fortnite action that we witnessed. Further from that, Kiro and Nelspruit held their first LAN for the year, and fun fact, it is the very first LAN held there, which is an amazing moment for the schools as a whole that were involved. There's a common misconception that esports only exists for Gauteng and Western Cape schools, which is far from the truth. Yes, there are many more events that happen around these provinces, but we are trying to slowly improve and get more happening at every other province because it should be known and accessed countrywide. As mentioned, the ACGL team started an initiative alongside the Toyota Gaming Engine, where they are deploying at schools that are less privileged and don't have access to equipment, but are giving them that opportunity. This past week, they were at Parkfields Primary for yet another EAFC 25 tournament. Schools in Cape Town, if you'd like to get your school involved, pop ACGL an email at schools@acgl.gg or pop them a message on their socials and get your school in the game, man. This past week as well, though, we had the ACGL team at PRG orientation event. They had an opportunity to chat with pro Fortnite player Bojo, one of the best in the business and a veteran in the space. Let's see what the conversation was all about.
Welcome to Bojo, PRG's Fortnite coach and also professional player. But I kind of want to hear you boast about yourself. What are some of the other achievements you have?
Me and Neymar won the biggest South African tournament ever hosted by Incredible Connections. That was 40,000 Rand for first place.
Awesome. What did you end up spending the money on?
Honestly, I bought a CSGO knife for 8.5, and then 2 years later, I sold it for 21.
Hey, that stonks. How does it feel being a coach? I mean, what are some of the obstacles you face when teaching the kids the new strats and how to perform well?
Honestly, it's just trying to get them to play anything except red versus blue. But otherwise, most of the kids are very attentive and they're excited to learn. So,
what is the most exciting part of, teaching them?
I love the competition, man. Going to the LANs, seeing them compete on the stage, it's so much fun.
And how long would you say does it take for one of your students to progress and you can see a visible improvement in what they've done?
Oh, within a session, man. If they put to work what I teach them, they can learn something within 30 minutes. You can see the improvement night and day.
What would you say is the funnest part of your job?
Honestly, it has to be the 1v1s. I love 1v1ing the students afterwards. It's so much fun. Full boxing them, But yeah, otherwise, definitely seeing them compete. That's the competition is just great.
100%. What I gathered from that was that you enjoy beating students. So
oh yeah,
10 out of 10. Last question is, what do you see as your goals for the students in the future? What would you really like to see them achieve?
So last year, Paul Roos came second in both our tournaments, so we need to change that. We need to come first in both the tournaments. Otherwise, I just want all the students to have a lot of fun and learn some new skills.
100%. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's time for a session in the classroom. This week, your pro tip comes from your boy once again. I've had the question asked multiple times, how are you so confident in front of a camera? Which is weird for an introvert like me. But here's a quick tip on how to improve on your camera confidence. So grab your notebooks and let's jump in. What is happening, folks? Welcome back to another pro tip. In this one, we're going to be talking about how to improve your confidence in front of a camera. And there's many ways to go about this, but the most simplest is obviously one, doing what I'm doing right now. Putting yourself in front of a camera and just practicing speaking, practicing talking about different topics, interacting with people, just learning how to be comfortable in front of a camera. That's the most important thing. You need to be comfortable because if you're not, people can pick it up. So learning how to talk in front of a camera and not feel shy a lot of the time, trying to interact with people, even if it's not with interacting, sometimes just creating a video, talking in front of a camera, whether it's about your favorite game, your favorite topic, your favorite eSports team, anything, and just learn to improve your talking skills because it starts to snowball after that. Sometimes it'll be in front of a live audience, sometimes it'll be in front of just your normal camera that you'll be uploading for a content piece. Either way, just learning to do that can be the most effective thing for yourself. And another thing you can take into account is don't run away from being embarrassed or shy from starting out, because that's one thing people don't like, is they don't like looking stupid, they don't like looking the fool. But when you start out, you will look bad, you will look terrible, but getting over that hurdle is what will define how you can improve going forward as a presenter, because there will be moments where you have to still learn how to properly address an audience, how to properly present a show. And that obviously comes over time as you learn, as you grow, as you experience these uncomfortable, embarrassing moments where you learn to kind of do better than your previous self. But for me as well, there have been those points in casting, in TV presenting, in MC work where there was points where I did things, and now when I look back on it, I am definitely happy I got past those hurdles. So never feel shy or embarrassed to just start out or to be where you are as a presenter, because your skills can be honed over time and they can improve. So that's going to be it for today's pro tip. Thank you so much for joining me, and let's get back to the show. Students, it's almost that time. The Kuro Gauteng LAN is coming up. Sign-ups aren't open just yet, but will soon be open, so stay tuned to the show to find out when exactly will be a go. Finally, uni homies, this one is for you. Nasty C and Iverson Gaming announced their campus tour that is currently ongoing. So unis in Gauteng, Western Cape and KZN, if your uni is on screen, expect a sick eSports activation coming to your campus in the coming days or even weeks. So please, stay tuned. Controller on the couch, you know what it means. It's time for Game Chat with my celebrity guest. He is one of the most talented gents on the mic in Mzansi. He's a TV presenter, MC, been on the radio, a successful YouTube vlogger. I mean, he's just that talented. So stick around because our chat's coming up next. Welcome back to the show, guys. Oh yes, it is time for my celebrity guest interview, and now I'm joined by the man himself, Sibu Mpanza, TV presenter, radio show presenter, YouTube vlogging expert. What else can't you do, man? How are you doing, bro?
I'm good, brother. I'll take it. I like that. I wish I could take you around everywhere for you to just introduce me like that, like we're in the dark ages, and every time I walk into a room, you
just your little bard singing your songs,
yes,
everything.
Thank you. I need that. I need that. Thank you for having me, man.
No, it's an absolute pleasure. And for someone who is as inspirational and has been doing so much in the scene, it's only fair that, we have to have this chat.
I've been waiting. Thanks, guys. Thank you very much.
So jumping right into the first question, right? So some may know, some may not know, you're a presenter, but you're also a gamer.
Yeah.
So where did that actually start, and how did you find yourself in the esports sphere?
Dude, back in the day, I think I was in grade 5, 2005. My mom came home, she said, go check in the boot. I looked in the boot, there was a PlayStation 2 there, the slim one, my boy. I did not realize in that moment that my life was changing. I also got a copy of Mortal Kombat and SSX Tricky. That was where my gaming began. I don't think I left the house for a month. Like on the weekends, my friend said, come play Disky outside.
Yes,
I stayed indoors, I played, and so Yeah, that's where the gaming started, honestly. I mean, obviously before that, there was I'm a game shop and everything, but it was always just a hobby that I loved. And I was fortunate enough to go to a high school that had a gaming society. So even there, I learned about like FPS games. So they played a lot of CS also there. So I learned a whole lot of different vibes. And then comes 2020, you know, or actually before that, I moved to Joburg. My first ever check that I make doing YouTube, I buy a PlayStation 4. I had to spoil myself, okay? So I was gaming even then, but then come COVID and I'm staying indoors, I'm gaming more and more with my friends. And so it kind of built back that love for gaming when I was back. And it changed things for me there. I even got into eSports. I got into online gaming, which I wasn't part of before that. And so I think that's where things kind of changed for me. And then a few years later, I was lucky enough to get picked up to do a whole gaming TV show. Changed my life, dude.
Actually, that is perfect to segue into. So we now know you're a presenter, right? And you're presenter of the VS Gaming Weekly show alongside the king himself, OK Wasabi.
Yes, sir.
How did that happen? Like, how did you find yourself in the sphere of TV presenting and the sort of career field that not many people think is actually viable when you come into esports?
So originally, like I said, I'm a YouTuber, right? So the whole thing of speaking, of being in front of the camera is something I was quite used to. And I'd spent a couple of years in Joburg already. The first show I was ever picked up on was actually a gossip and entertainment show, Real Koboza. So that's my first sort of touch into television. I was a presenter on there. And then a few years later, OK Wasabi and I started a tech game and gaming YouTube channel. And I think from there, we had viewers and people seeing us that when there was an opening for there to be a gaming show, that's when they literally picked us up. They said, guys, we love what you're doing on YouTube. We'd like for you to go do it on television. We were like, that's wild. We literally did it just so our friends had something to look at. You know, South Africans could also go online and they could check a PS5 in South African terms, like people who could talk about why it's more expensive for us than for other people, you know?
It's more relatable as well that way, right?
Exactly, dude, exactly. And so, yeah, that's how things started. And they snowballed into a TV show. It's 4 seasons later and we're loving it.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
And you're a YouTube vlogger and you've been creating content. You're currently sitting at 61K on YouTube. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah.
So one thing I have noted is that content creation has a very important space in esports and it's definitely a part of our future.
Yes.
What would you say to students who are trying to start their content journey and how to go about it and how your journey has been?
Oh man, don't overthink it. I think that's the first thing that always comes to mind. Don't overthink it and don't compare yourself. A lot of us, we watch these streamers and these content creators from overseas. We compare ourselves. As soon as we don't have what they have, we go, actually, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Yeah, let me put it down. And I really don't believe in that. I think in the South African context, things are bound to be a little bit different than a lot of the Europeans and the Americans that you're watching normally. So I think the big thing for me is don't underestimate yourself also. I think there is a massive, massive audience waiting to watch a lot of South Africans' content. And only once we make that content can people actually sit there and watch. So to anybody who wants to start to get into the content space, whether it is in gaming or outside of gaming, don't underestimate yourself. Don't compare yourself to other people. There's a space for everybody.
And I mean, the one thing people always talk about is, oh, I don't have the camera that he has. I don't have the microphone. Do you think there's still many alternatives to that?
Oh, fully, dude, fully. It's funny because I even watch some guys who have been doing this for years and years and who are making careers out of it. And some of them will still use their webcam because they know it doesn't actually matter. What matters is the gaming. What matters is what you're putting into the game, your personality. Even if you're not that great at the game, I think that's another thing. People think, yo, I'm not a sweat in these games that people like to watch. So who's gonna watch me? Nah, dude, people are there for the personality. Yes, some people are there to watch you pop off in the game, but a lot of the time they're there for your personality. They're there to see you enjoying the game. They're there to see you improve in the game. So I always say, yes, you might not have the best camera. You might not have the best microphone. And maybe your talking skills are not where you'd like them to be. But the only way for you to get better is if you do it. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. So going to the last thing, is there a piece of advice that you'd like to give to people who maybe want to follow in your footsteps as trying to get it into TV presenting or even just into the content creation sphere? on what kept you going as a person. Because I mean, there's a lot of things that can always keep you back, can always kind of give you those second doubts. What is something that kept you going and can keep other people going and students going?
Dude, you have to be able to not take yourself too seriously. You know, as much as I can say sometimes that you must take your work seriously, you must put pride in your work. But in terms of yourself, don't take yourself too seriously. Enjoy it, enjoy the journey. You have to be able to laugh at yourself also. And people don't like watching somebody or Steve who's there taking everything serious. Yeah, guys, you die in the game all of a sudden. Guys, I don't want to play anymore. Switching off the... dog, you tilted. Being tilted is part of the fun. Like, you have to be able to laugh at yourself and just enjoy it. It's a long journey. It's not going to happen overnight for you. It took me years and years. I've been doing YouTube since 2014, so I'm on the 11th year
now, basically,
of doing this. And you know, I'm not one of those people with like 100,000 subscribers or 1 million subscribers, but I've got a career and I've got a life out of it. So I think take your time with it. Don't compare yourself to other people. If I did compare myself to people who had like 100,000 subscribers, I wouldn't be doing this anymore, you know, but I know where my journey is. I know where my lane is. So don't take yourself too seriously and enjoy the journey. There's no destination. There's no place you're going to get to where you're like, finally, I made it. So just enjoy the journey.
That's actually a perfect sentiment because I mean, I think the idea for a lot of people is there has to be a destination. So it's always like, we focus, let's get this 1 million subs, then
I'll be happy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you feel like it's more so just enjoying the journey that you're on.
100%. There's no destination that's going to make you happy. I remember when I started YouTube, I said, when I get 1,000 subscribers, I'll never talk to you guys again. I'll be done. I'm a changed man.
Everyone's new number.
I got 1,000 and I was like, there's more to do. Then I got 10,000 and then I was like, maybe when I get to 50,000, I'll feel like I really made it. Got to 50. Then I was like, no, man, there's no actual destination here. Even when I get to 100, I'm sure I'm not going to suddenly feel like, wow, things have changed. But the journey, the people, the community that you're going to build, the friendships that you're going to make, that's what it's all about.
And that's been the most valuable part about it,
100%, dude, 100%.
Fantastic. But Sibu, it's been an absolute pleasure, my brother. Thank you so much for joining me, man. But before I let you go, please, to the camera, let us know where we can find you, how we can get a hold of you.
Yeah. Where you can find me, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, it's all Sibu Mpanza. On YouTube, it's also Mo Mpanza. That's where you can find me. I will be there. I will chat to you. We can learn together. We can become online friends. I would greatly appreciate that.
And you can carry in games, guys. Yo, have you seen Call of Duty, guys? Yo. No, but man, again, it's been an absolute honor and pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me. From my side, this is something I don't usually do, but you are an inspiration to a lot of us and to me as well. So thank you for everything that you do, man.
Thank you for having me, man. Gameplay. I'm so happy I finally got on this chair.
But guys, thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure. Once again, I hope you join us next week where I have another celebrity guest interview. But for now, I've been Scorer. This has been Gameplay, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. GG's, gamers.